Throughout the history of philosophy, there have always been fears and concerns reflected in the thoughts of philosophers. These fears, ranging from freedom and loneliness to meaninglessness and absurdity, have been pivotal points for many thinkers in their quest for truth. From Descartes, who addresses the fear of doubt, to Nietzsche, who wrestles with pain and nihilism, all these fears are, in some sense, shared experiences in the search for life's meaning. The first fear is the fear of freedom. Sartre, in his works, delves into this fear, stating that humans not only fear external constraints but also the freedom within themselves. For him, freedom comes with responsibility and decision-making, which can lead to anxiety and unease. Following that, the fear of the lack of order in the universe emerges. Descartes begins his search for certainty by doubting everything. Doubting himself and the external world marks his journey toward absolute certainty, yet this process is a fear itself, the fear that nothing is real. Fear of solitude is another common fear among philosophers. Kierkegaard addresses this profound human solitude, suggesting that to reach authenticity, individuals must separate themselves from the world and face themselves in isolation. The fear of not being able to know the truth has always been a concern for philosophers. Plato and Aristotle, in different eras, tackled this subject. Today, this fear has evolved into the doubts and uncertainties present in both scientific and philosophical inquiries. And now, the greatest fear, the fear of meaninglessness. This fear is seen in the works of many philosophers and remains one of humanity's greatest concerns. Nihilism, not just in Nietzsche's writings but also in many modern philosophers, looms large. However, meaninglessness is not an end, it is an opportunity to find new meaning. Ultimately, we can say that all these fears converge to one conclusion: when faced with these fears, we are not only meant to run away from them, but rather, we must learn how to live with them. In fact, these fears help us gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Futility, meaninglessness, and despair are concepts we often try to avoid. However, in reality, these concepts may not only be something we should not fear, but perhaps they are the very ones that can lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and life. Many philosophers, such as Nietzsche, Descartes, and Heidegger, have specifically addressed this issue. Does life really have a fixed, clear meaning? Or do we need to create our own meaning in life? These are the fears that great philosophers have faced. Some, like Nietzsche, accepted futility and meaninglessness as an opportunity for freedom and growth, while others, like Descartes and Heidegger, sought to find structure and meaning in life. Ultimately, it may seem that everyone is seeking happiness and joy, but we must realize that futility is not only something we should avoid, but may be the only way to reach success and a deeper truth. Perhaps at a point in life, when nothing seems to have meaning and we are only left with feelings of futility, we can find what we could not achieve with happiness and certainty. In fact, it may only be through futility that we can find the true meaning of life and success. This is when we see that, in the end, it is exactly what propels us forward. Perhaps this new understanding of futility allows us to have a different perspective on life and the path ahead. So, instead of running from futility, we must embrace it and coexist with it, because this path may be the only one that leads us to deeper truths and real successes in our lives.